welcome to the Danger Station. This is Danger Train, and we're jumping back into Sweet Transit. Last time we got our civilizations situated. Apparently, the game decided to name it Yum Yum, so that's entertaining. And we got our first trains rolling. Hauling coal, but, train nonetheless. But without further ado, let's jump into it. Last time we left off, I was working on getting us some actual trains rolling. Episode 1 seemed to have done pretty well, so might as well kick it off with episode 2. As we let our passenger train roll off there. Back to this tiny little village we have going on. So let's see. Ah, yes. Problems. All the problems. Okay. Um, don't have enough people? Yeah, we do. Why are you not? What? Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, that was weird. Okay. Oh, that's right. It was called Yum Yum. Oh boy. All right. Well, welcome back to our nice little village. So let's see. Let's get the sawmill moved out of town because that's really taking up a lot of space. All right. So a good thing to do to figure out where a good place would be to place stuff is, as you can see, with the sawmill selected, there are these yellow zones. These yellow zones, you cannot build them in. These yellow zones, oh, here, let me control B. Yeah, there we go. These yellow zones are deserts. They're too arid for uh, the wood, the trees to grow. So a quick control B will swap between the white gridded build mode and then your beautiful looking isometric textures. So yeah, probably dropping it right here wouldn't be a bad idea. So let's go back to the blueprints. Let's grab our micro station. Yeah, as of right now, this is probably my best bet. Just slap it up right here. Now, I just realized that I may have put that a little bit too close to this intersection, but we shall see how that pans out. And much like everything else, I have blueprints. Beautiful, beautiful blueprints. Oh no, I'm good. Okay, cool. So one thing I like to do is I drop a distribution center down here. So what these distribution centers do is they have a nice little slider here. This slider is much the same as these little courier shacks. And so the distribution center does the same thing as the distribution center, but better. So how the distribution center is only one directional, it can only unload from one place and load it to another. The distribution center is really nice because it can load and unload from a location. So as of right now, we're not going to worry about loading. We are going to worry about unloading. So let's do the wood here. We're going to unload into the station. And don't worry about the name here yet. It will auto update once we start dropping what we're going to be producing here. So, and then just a nice quick slap down right here. So, as you can see, this nice red line here going in. So, pulling the wood out of the distribution center into the sawmill. Another nice thing about the distribution centers is it is a storage facility as well, as you can see right here. So, what's really cool about that is I can have the wood go in from the sawmill straight into the distribution center. The distribution center will act as sort of a buffer, and that will offload it into the station, which, as you can see, has been renamed now that I have a piece of production facility slapped down next to it. And because we're going to be needing a lot of wood, um, mind you, I do have blueprints, but a nice way to create blueprints, just Control C, and it'll copy it right there for you. A nice handy little thing is F, which actually flips the blueprint. So as you can see, that kind of flips it around, and I can actually get a mirrored version. That way, the unloading location is extremely close to the place it's being unloaded to. This allows our fish-powered feet to move faster because there's less distance. Now, we can add more people. Obviously, that's going to increase the throughput of the fish-powered feet to the station. But another nice thing about the distribution center and why I have these set up the way I do is they allow for a specialization. So because I have two sawmills connected to this, I'm going to get a 10% production bonus from these sawmills. Really, really nice. Just because we're limited on people right now, we're just going to stick with these two. But in the meantime, let's actually delete that for now. That way we can get that situated. Delete that courier shack because we don't no longer need it. Jump up over here, add another filter. Oh, we need to protect this coal here. So each item that you can elect the courier shack to actually pull out of the station, you can actually protect. So by protecting a certain amount, like fuel, for example, you're able to allow the trains that show up here to refuel from the coal within the station. But let's get some more people situated here. And that way, we can provide some more fish-powered feet for our wonderful new... Okay, that didn't help at all. There we go, that helps. For our newly found sawmill setup over here. Alright, so I'm going to kind of cut out the nonsense. I've already kind of situated how these are set up in the first episode. If you want to see how this is set up, check out that episode. I'll be bringing you right back once I got this all situated. Alrighty, see, that didn't take long. So, what I did to get these kind of situated here is, if you hover over this, you can see you can actually hold control, and then you can duplicate. So, simple little thing, seeing as the coal mine delivery and the coal mine workers are already set up the way they are, I simply went over to the delivery, held control, duplicated it, and that's what gave me the delivery here. However, it was all marked out for the coal line. So quick little changes. If you hit this little button here, the little arrow, you can reselect the destination. You just then go down, click on the sawmill, and it sets it to the destination there. And then you just gotta go through, make sure your filters are all set up, and that way it's a lot easier. Now, when you duplicate a line, I mean, if you want to, you can have all your trains the same color. However, I like kind of color coding things, so that way when I zoom out and look at the map, I can see, oh hey, my coal train's over here, and I'll see a green train running around, and that obviously is my uh, sawmill train, so he's hauling all the wood. Now, another neat little thing that you can do is once you jump into the train depot, you can click on the same little button, the little arrow, so very handy UI, and click on the train you want to copy, and it copies the train. Now, as you can see, I copied the coal train, so same length, same everything, same color, same route. Now, if I jump back up into my routes, over here, go down to my sawmill workers, I can click on this, well, drop it, If you call this a drop up, I'm still going to call it a drop down menu. So this drop down menu, you'll see your list of routes that you have. However, the one that you have selected here will show up with a little asterisk in the front, so it's always at the top. Now, when you have 30, 50, 80-ish plus routes with 100 or so trains, this is such a nice quality of life. So just simple click, send, done. Now, we can watch our train go by while I work on the next one. So, once again, now seeing as this is actually going to be using a different rolling stock than the coal train, as the coal train uses gondolas, and this will be using flats, it's just a lot faster to kind of just pump out your own quick train here. Now, before I set the route to the sawmill delivery, what you can do is you can clone these. So you can clone the trains if you're going to have multiple. Now, if I clone it right away, it's just going to clone it how it is. No route, same train layout. You can also sell trains while you're in here. So I'm just going to sell that one because it doesn't have any route, and I don't feel like setting it twice. So to save yourself a couple button presses, you can set the route, and then you can clone it, and look at that. A couple button presses, a lot less than before, and we have 2 sawmill deliveries. Send these guys out on their way. Follow the choo-choo around. Should be loaded. Yeah, see, he's got workers now too. Let's go a bit more cinematic. Why are you going all the way? Ah. One thing to take note is when you duplicate routes, as you can see here, he's going to the wrong station. I don't want him to unload these guys. But this does tell me that I do need a second coal train because it's pretty far. I want him going here. Please go to the correct route. Thank you. Why are you blocked? Oh, you all decided to use the same freaking line. I really need these requirement signals because these stations kind of require them. What these requirement signals do is allow you to control the thought process of the trains and kind of control where they go and how they order themselves. You can reserve different rail lines for different speeds, train lengths, routes, destinations, whole 9 yards. Super, super handy. Some of them I've read around are a little bugged, but I've heard that they have been working on a fix for that. Now, a pretty easy way around that until you get these, which you get these super early on. Again, they're just a building cost of coin. They're very expensive, but very useful. Uh, just kind of a quick fix for now, just to kind of help these guys out, is you can actually set destination with the little arrow to a piece of rail. So now it has to pass over this rail. So if I put this rail after their unload, when they're done unloading, they will have to pass over this. And the reason I put it here after the switch is so then these guys can then use that siding and not block each other. So let's just have these both go to pass rail, which that will then open up a line for the passenger train. Ah, this is a first, at least for this series. He ran out of coal. So as you can see, he's topping out at like, I think they top out at 10 kilometers an hour when they're out of coal, but they will top out at 30 when they have enough fuel. So running out of fuel isn't a bad thing if you don't mind waiting. Because they just go slower. It's not like they break down or just stop entirely, which is really nice. So no matter what, your rails are always moving. You always have things going. It's just how fast you want them to go. And as you can see, these trains that are actually hauling the lumber are required to pass through this rail. So now, because it's after this intersection, they'll just chill. They'll just chill here and wait. It's another way to implement some sort of brain cells into each train. I mean, a funny way I think of it is each one of these conditions is a brain cell that your train has access to. So right now, my sawmill delivery trains have 5 brain cells, and my simple little passenger trains only have 2 brain cells that are fighting for third place. But seeing as it is a much easier task, they don't need as much brains as, say, these guys who also need to coordinate between each other without being able to communicate between each other. What rail to go to prevent one another from blocking the rest of the trains. So by using analog conditions, you can make inherently smart trains. Once you get a pretty good feel for it, you can make some pretty wild setups. Sawmills running, I need more people, more fish-powered feet for the almighty great train that watches over our lands. Do I not have enough wood? Hurry up and move that wood, please. So I'll crank this up so then they can unload a train pretty quickly. Yeah, that's gonna eat into my the number of people, but I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, see, all of these guys out here cannot reach this station. So this little white line doesn't go far enough to reach all these people. So another neat little thing that you can do is called intermediate stations or interstations, whatever you want to call them. But in order to give this station more access to people, you're going to drop down another station. So as you can see here, I'm able to connect this station to everyone over here that this station can't connect to. So this is where your interstations are going to be super handy. Now, you can see that it actually tells you how many station platforms you're going to place down. Now, mind you, I can go all the way up to 10, both directions. But I don't need that many because I'm going to be utilizing this half of the station. So I only need one that's 10 rails long. So let's see how far we can get with 10 rails. I mean, we could do it this way. Now, mind you, the actual station piece itself counts as a station platform, so you already have 2. So really, I only need to go out 4 tiles in each direction in order to match the size of this station. So in doing so, you can just link it up with the rails, connect it up to the main line, and then put a signal there. That way, this section is completely separate from this section. So the train here that's going back and forth doesn't block this train here. Now, the reason I'm only doing one signal going in this way is because once we set this station's conditions up for this route, the train will want to go back out this direction if this platform is empty. So I'm basically just telling the train, hey, you can go in this direction, but you're not allowed out. You're basically trapped in there now. So let's get a nice quick little route set up. And let's make it, let's make all of our inner platforms orange, because frickin' why not? Alright, so destination, yum yum. Because so because of the way this track is laid out, it has to go to this station first. Then it can come back over to the Yum Yum Central. God, that's gonna get me every time. Okay, so pretty simple. Like I said, two brain cells. It's just go here, go back here, then go here. Super simple. You need more water over here. Also need more. So you'll see these little red icons pop up. These guys aren't getting their fish. So these are currently feet that can't be powered by fish because there are no fish for them. I placed a little water tower here because they had the little water symbol. But I will drop another market there. And what's cool about these markets is, yeah, you can just have them connect to the storage that it's actually being pulled out of. However, you could also have it pull from the market that's maybe just down the road. So, granted, this one might have to have a couple more workers, or if it's getting pulled too much, is getting pulled, you might need a courier shack to kind of help support this. Now, I haven't tried it yet, but I wonder, you know what? Let's try it right now. Let's pause the game real quick. Let's delete that. And let's drop a distribution center right here. Okay. Is this still going to give me the bonus? No. So it doesn't provide specialization bonuses to facilities that are within the town itself. However, what's nice about this are these guys. So I can actually do this to get a decent amount of people running back and forth. And now I can have this pull from there. So that way I have the workers from here pulling from the distribution center, and by setting this output to the market, I also have these workers bringing goods back and forth. So now, instead of the measly 20 workers that are working in there trying to run things back and forth, this one has 20 plus the 15 that are in here. So nice 35. So a nice 35 fish powered feet running fish back and forth, making sure everyone stays fed. And as you can see, these guys got their fish. Beautiful. There is no limit to how many people you can have. Just how many goods you can provide them. And how quickly you can provide those goods. Now, again, this station doesn't have access to a whole lot of people. Now, this station, however, has access to a decent amount. So, let's get a two-directional train going through here. So, a nice, quick, easy way to do it. Now, remember, my station only has a length of 10. So, the way to kind of figure the stations out is the length of the station has to match with the length of the train in order to fully unload it and fully load it. Now, it can be longer than the station, which would be totally fine. It would just only unload whatever wagons are within the station's area. So, in order to get a two-directional train, as you can see, I have a ST10 here and an ST10 here. Now, these ST10s cannot go backwards. With the way this one is currently facing, it is facing to go in this direction. Now, a quick little flip, and now it has trains facing both directions, meaning it is a multi-directional train, so it can go both directions. So let's let that run. We can follow it around a little bit. Watch it cruise while we rename this. Yum Yum Manor. So from this view, the world map as you would call it, you can see why I kind of like to color code my trains. So red trains, that's my coal trains. Green trains, you can kind of see that's my wood trains running back and forth, and then we have our inner here. It's just doing some nice quick little runs back and forth, hauling these fish-powered feet everywhere. Now, let's do some potatoes. A way we can increase our population. Because, if you haven't noticed already, we have 15 people. Back in the previous episode, I showed that providing fish increases the number of residents in this house to 15 from 5. Now, there's other goods that you can provide, and these goods, if you hover over them, will actually show you what kind of bonuses it gives this location. So, if I provide potatoes to this house, it'll give me plus 10 inhabitants to this house, and every single house on top of that. So, I mean, plus 10, yeah, your population can explode once you really start applying and providing all of the infrastructure necessary to supply all these goods. And next on the agenda would then be potatoes. Now, it's going to be very similar to the sawmill that I have over here. It's pretty much just cut and paste. Probably keep this one pretty close as well, just because I don't plan on really going too far out. So the next viable location for me to expand to would either be here or here. More than likely, it's going to be maybe here on the edge. That way I can save as much of this green land as I can. I've really realized that this is a really tricky spot to start in. Potato farm. Once again, just gonna take the coal mine delivery. Oh, cancel. Cold control, duplicate. Then go into here. Nope, not sand, not yet. Do some potatoes. More potato filters. Another filter for potatoes. And then we just need to go through, swap that to the potato farm. Oh, wait, no, this is the condition for the potato farm. And then the potato farm again. Sweet. Let's change the color. Let's go tan, maybe? Why not? So let's go down to and then rename it. Potato delivery. Stay organized. Gotta stay organized. guess I'll just do this one manually because I misclicked, but whatever. This is one of the, just those 2 brain cell little routes that doesn't really need much attention. And rename workers. So let's get the workers rolling over there first. Oh, perfect. Click. Select for workers, potato workers, go. Cannot reach destination. Why not? Oh. It would definitely help if I had some rails, huh? Train's not going nowhere without the rails. I don't. Do a nice little truss over the water. Make it look all nice and fancy. Ah, yes. There we go. Now he's cruising. Once again, you can follow him around while we set up this new train. Now this one, we're going to be using the boxcar for it. And that's what we need. Another handy little quality of life thing. You can hold control and click on these. And you can just copy it. Super nice, super handy. Get those potatoes rolling, my brother. Oh, let's also tell you to pass through that rail. Because I don't want you getting gummed up on the track. See, let's load from the potato farm. Unload at Yum Yum Central. So now, what we need to do is set up possibly a distribution center. Actually, we have one. Let's use this one. So this input storage isn't doing anything right now. So what we can do is have it import from Yum Yum Central. Now what that's going to do, it's always a good idea to pause this whenever you're trying to add a filter or do something like this, because as you can see, there's already these yellow highlighted couriers that are walking to distribution center, but they are hauling wood. And we don't need wood over here. So what you can do is you can right click on that if there's wood in there. If it bugs you, it bugs me, and hit clear. It'll clear out the stockpile, but it will not clear out this picture, and that's really irritating to me. But that's usually why I pause the game before I select the input. Because then I can jump in here, swap it to potatoes, and then unpause it. And they should start hauling potatoes over to here, while the output should start supplying potatoes to both of these markets. If we speed up time a little bit, yeah, see, they haul 105 wood right out the bat. But as you can see, as the couriers get here, they're dropping off some potatoes. Now, I don't think that's going to be fast enough, so let's bump this up to 20. But, oh man, they've already engorged themselves on the tubers. But now, here, I have the potatoes, meaning I have a lot more people that do not have jobs. So, we got some wood, provided some tubers. Got a nice little inner train going back and forth, hauling people to go do their jobs. We got some wood helping keep up with the demand of all this wood that the houses require for maintenance. If you like trains, if you like train games, and if you like watching me attempt to inject trains into any game that I can do it to, you'll see it here. If you like the content, leave a comment. help me name some of my towns. Yum Yum staying. But the next town, the top comment, I'll do it. No matter what it is. Keep it YouTube friendly. I swear to God. But anyway, this is Danger Train. Leaving the station. Y'all have a good one.